I am an eternal optimist. So please. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Flies one into right center field. Back at the wall. Are you kidding? Home run. Woodruff. 1-1 in game one.
Woody! Oh, boy, am I glad to see you guys. I knew you'd come back, Woody.
And come back he did. And, man, that feels good. It does. Doesn't it, Josh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The big woo is back for the Brewers. And he's wealthy.
He got paid, baby.
Yeah. A lot of money for the big woo. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. The big news from yesterday, well, there's two, really. One, Brandon Woodruff, and two, Giannis. Both are not going away for any length of time.
That's a good, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Giannis is here for a solid 1 to 2 weeks, just chilling with a grade XYZ elemental P groin injury. We'll get to that with Shams and what he had to say. Plus, Woody yesterday officially staying a Brewer, accepts the contract decision, the $22.025 million for the 2026 season. That makes me happy, Josh. I know it makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. I love Woody. This is the only thing that would ruin this potentially is just if that fear of, well, now we can't go and get the next thing because we're paying Woody X amount of money. But having Brandon Woodruff being back on this team as not just a pitcher, a great pitcher, but a leader in that clubhouse and a leader for this team of still young baseball players is something that Brewers fans should be excited about.
When do you allow yourself to celebrate?
Right there, I just did.
That was a celebration?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just said right now, that's a great thing. And it's good for the players. It's good for the team.
What I heard you say was, great. He's great. He's great. He's back. But now we don't have any money left.
No. We better still have money is my point. That's my point. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin my happiness by now having more. Well, now we can't go get other players. I'm glad that we paid Woody. He deserved to get paid. Now keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's
keep doing what we got to do.
Just sign a bunch of checks. Leave them blank. We'll take it from here.
That's right. That's exactly right. I'm very excited to have Woody back. And I am interested in, did he test the market and go, okay, this apparently is the best I'm going to get? I would think so.
You think?
Would you not?
I don't know, man. If you look at the story with him staying at the Milwaukee Brewers and all the offers and what they allowed him to do, and here's how we got here, okay?
Yeah.
November 2023, they did that non-tender shocker. Remember, they avoided this big arbitration deal, which for the Brewers is saying something.
That's exactly right. Yes, it is.
Let's be real. That's not exactly something that they get in line for and go, all right, how do we avoid arbitration? It's more like, that's our favorite word.
Yeah, they go, and then on Friday we have arbitration. Good, okay. And
so he was expected to miss 24 after shoulder surgery, making him a free agent, per se, okay? But they avoided that big arbitration number, blah, blah, blah. February of 24, they backloaded a rehab deal, and this shocked all of us. Milwaukee re-signed him for a 2-year, $17.5 million contract with a $20 million buyout option for 2026. That's where we're at. He took that $10 million buyout, plus there was no trade clause in there. And I didn't know this until all of this broke yesterday. In that backloaded rehab deal, Woody wrote into the contract, I would like a hotel suite on the road.
Ooh.
Okay.
I need the sweet, baby.
And they did it.
I mean,
The fact they paid him that much money to rehab was another feather in the cap of Woody. We love you. We appreciate you. You might remember the statement that Matt Arnold put out. Remember that when they had to make this horrible decision? He means so much to our organization. We don't want to move up, but here we are. It's a business. Woody, we love you. We'll miss you. It was a big deal. I remember that. For the longest time, my wife and I would flip a quarter to see who was going to tell our oldest son the most recent Wisconsin disappointing sports news. I broke his heart in the school parking lot when Jordy Nelson got released.
yeah.
Bald. Jesus Aguilar, when he got let go, bald. With this one, I was like, hey, Amanda, you're up. I'm not touching this Woody news.
Get rid of the coin. I'm not doing this.
I'm out. I keep losing. Rock, paper, scissors? No. Screw that. I'm out.
Yeah.
So then all of this stuff happened with the qualifying offer and the $10 million buyout. And now, pow. $22.025 million for the 2026 season. And this is why we can't have nice things, because there are two things that immediately come to mind for a Brewers fan. Josh, what are they? Two things. One,
But I don't know. I don't know.
stay healthy.
Oh, well, sure.
Can he stay healthy?
See, that's pessimism. I'm not even thinking about that.
That is not pessimism. That's, buddy, I spend 7 seconds on a realism train, and you're ready to kick me back to pessimism.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
I can't believe
now I'm
what
thinking
that's
about that.
like to come off a shoulder surgery. I mean, he went through it all. And then remember what happened when he was trying to come back?
Yeah.
Got smoked by a comebacker on the mound off of wherever it hit him. And I was like, great. There it is. Great. God bless him. It's like when Trevor McGill got hit. Remember that in the arm?
I do.
He just walked right off the field. When Woody got hit in the minors, I'm like, why can't this guy have nice things?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. It's a rehab.
And then another setback. And then he comes back. And all of a sudden, we're all like, hey, buddy.
There he is. He's back, baby.
Welcome back. And then what happened at the end of last season? We didn't have him for the playoffs. That stung bad because that was, I don't know, man. Like when you recognize the guy again, especially post injuries, not injury.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gambling $22 million?
Yes. Here's the one thing with it though, is that one, you already were in on him a little bit, right? It kind of, the way that we set this up, he was getting that 10 million regardless. So I think in some ways, maybe they went, well, we're already paying the guy 10 million regardless of if he stays or not. Let's just go all in on Woody. He's been a part of the organization the entire time. We know him. We love him. I'm also hoping that this is a sign that clears up any question marks that I had left over of his injury that didn't allow him to pitch in the postseason. Because that was one of the frustrating things for me, was how long we were like, so what's going on with Woody? What is that injury? Is he going to be there for the NLDS? No. Okay. But the NLCS? Also no. Okay. And just these question marks. The fact that the team went, okay, we're going to give him this qualifying offer, giving him the most money for a pitcher for a 1-year contract in the history of our organization. That, to me, I trust Matt Arnold enough to where he made that decision knowing the injury, whatever it was, which I still hate that I don't know exactly the details of it, but however that all went down with him with that injury to end the year is okay, because otherwise they wouldn't have done that offer.
And as Brewers fans, this is what's toughest. It is so hard to celebrate these, what I would call small wins, small victories. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Right away. Love Woodruff, but don't want this to be we did sign a free agent. We signed Woody type of thing. Counts only if a player is on another team to me. That's not true. And we have to get over that as Wisconsin sports fans. Goody talks about this a lot. He'll come out in training camp and go, Well, it was great. We signed 5 free agents. They just happen to all be our guys. But that's real.
Yeah.
So signing Woody, very much so, is a free agent signing at $22 million
100%.
for this year. Plus, remember, Josh, $10 million buyout. So it's not like we're not cutting this cat some checks.
Right. The Brewers, the $10 million buyout was him no longer being on the team. People got to remember that. He didn't go and play for another team in between that, but when he takes that buyout, that's it. He bought it out. The contract's done. Technically, clear out his locker. He is no longer a part of the team. He bought out the contract. The contract is done. Then the qualifying offer existed, but that gave Woody the opportunity to do what a lot of other players have done in Wisconsin sports and go and test the free agent market. See if he could get a better offer elsewhere. Go play somewhere else. If he wanted out of Milwaukee, he had that opportunity to go and try to become a Dodger or go to New York or do one of these other things. He didn't. He accepted the qualifying offer and came back to Milwaukee. He was not a Brewer the entire time. There was a gap where he was a free agent.
I have questions for Lane Grindle on this. He's going to join us at 7 a.m. this morning. Lane Grindle, the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers on the Milwaukee Brewers radio network. I want to know what the qualifying offer allowed Woody to do and what it didn't allow Woody to do, because there was a date on it. There's a drop dead date. So was he truly allowed to go and test the open market, or did that kind of hold him hostage? Because what I don't understand is the word qualifying in the whole thing. And we had Jeff on and we talked about all of the arbitration stuff and so on. There seems to have been a small window post buyout where arbitration allowed the Milwaukee Brewers to make a qualifying offer by XYZ date. So did that put handcuffs on Woody at all? Meaning take it or leave it. This is the date. And then you go and test free agency. Was he allowed to have conversations? Because this is where baseball gets weird.
Yeah, it's not like the NBA. Like the word tampering is used a lot with the NBA of, having conversations, testing the market. You can't do that. That's where the whole tampering thing is. You don't hear that a lot with Major League Baseball. I mean, it does handcuff him a little bit, right? Because there's a deadline. He has an offer out there, but it's not just going to sit there until he can go to all other baseball teams and go, can you beat this? Can you beat this? Can you beat this?
Right.
And so he had a deadline that he had to figure out what it was. But to the best of my knowledge, it wasn't like he just sat at home with that and wasn't allowed to have his agent or anyone else test the market to see if he could get more than that. I actually think that when that offer came out and we were talking about it on the show, people were chiming in saying that if he left free agent, they're estimating he would be getting way more than 22. It was like 27, 28.
Only it was going to be a multiple year deal.
Correct.
And there's a chance that teams, based on his injury woes, weren't willing to take that chance.
Exactly. But it gave him the opportunity to find out that answer. At least that's what I'm thinking.
That's what I want to ask. In the research that I was doing about this, which is extensive, by the way, and it makes me want to throw up, frankly, because I don't understand it. No matter how hard I try, it's so hard to figure out without being an agent or a lawyer. I don't know. What I found was this. Woodruff accepts instead of testing the open market, where projections had him anywhere from a big 1-year deal to a multi-year contract. So what does instead of testing the open market mean? And that's where I wonder if this whole date thing did have some sort of at least loose-fitting handcuffs on him by XYZ date. So this is interesting on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. I feel like as Brewers fans, this is why we can't have nice things, because we just signed a nice thing. And right away, pessimistic Brewers fans are wide awake this morning going, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can't beat the Dodgers until we fix the salary cap, this and that.
No. Well, that's true. I mean,
why can't we be optimistic for just a second? The Brewers just did what we've been asking them to do, is sign.
Not according to the Talking Text line.
That's what I'm saying.
Talking Text line is saying they haven't done it. Bringing Woody back doesn't count. They want to go get a player from a different team. I'm with you on that one. For the record,
thank you.
I don't agree. You brought Woody back. An interesting point does come here from the 414. Jeff from Fox Point. Love the fact that you guys are up this early right away with us, by the way. Said, what does Woody signing mean for Peralta being traded this offseason? That's another good question that we should talk to Lane Grindle about.
I would bet that we're not going to trade him this offseason, but we will look to move him during the season.
See, I don't know that I agree with that. Because I think that the PR look, as we've learned with Josh Hader and some of these other guys, like that used to always be the way that the Brewers did it. Small market team. You knew that the guy was going to be gone. But now the Brewers have been getting those bites of the apple. They've been making runs in the postseason. And as long as the Brewers keep doing that, the fan base is not going to be happy if we're on a roll. Freddie's pitching well, and then we get rid of him, and it completely kills the clubhouse.
Mean like Josh Hader?
Exactly.
Like
exactly like Josh Hader, right.
Yeah, that's true, Josh. When looking at this, though, knowing what we're paying Woody and knowing that this is the last year, from what I understand about arbitration, that we have control over Freddie Peralta before this goes to hell in a handbasket with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is typically when we've seen the Brewers do something, whether it's in the offseason or in season prior to the next big contract. Devin Williams, Corbin Burns, Josh Hader. Like there's a bit of a history here. So unless philosophies have changed over at American Family Field, I would not be surprised, based on this question, if Freddie comes up in some sort of trade talk so that we don't need to, we have to get something for him. If we're going to get rid of him and move on, the Brewers are smart enough to go and get something for Freddie Peralta.
Right.
But let's talk about the guy that we kept instead.
Okay.
We'll ask Lane Grindle all about that. He joins us at 7 a.m. this morning. The rest of the show is stacked today as well. 8 a.m. we chat with our guy, Doug Gottlieb. He's a regular on the show on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. One of these times we're going to catch him in the middle of travel. What's that? It's today. Got it. He's joining us live from the Atlanta airport.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Is it? Because if you've been to remember, that's where I called you when I was on my way to Dallas.
Yeah.
That airport can go to hell. Absolutely sucks.
No, he'll be
there.
focused in. It'll be great.
Good stuff about Giannis. He's only out 1 to 2 weeks. Shams said yesterday that he has a low-grade left groin strain and will miss 1 to 2 weeks. Based on how Josh felt on vacation, that would hold Josh out maybe 1 to 2 years, potentially.
Yes. I'm also not a Greek freak.
Close second, though.
Yeah, just it's
Close
like
second.
right there. I'm like right there.
That's good. That's positive from the test that he had done on Tuesday. And he is the only NBA player right now averaging 30 points and 10 rebounds. That's from Shams Charania on Twitter. Josh has some questions for Rich Bisaccia, and we're going to get those out next in a segment we call I Have Questions. What are your questions? The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. From what I can read this morning, you guys don't have many questions, but you have a lot of opinions. And that's why we're here. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We hope you care about that. Signing Woody back is a big deal for the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's just celebrate something for a change and accept that this is good instead of going, hey, go get Bo Bichette. With whose checkbook?
Yeah, I mean, do it. Do it. I believe he didn't take his qualifying offer. So that's,
yeah.
You know why? Because his agent probably said, no, you were just in the World Series, but I think you can get more money.
A little bit. He's Josh. I'm Trevor. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're live on Twitter and YouTube. Just search at WI Sports, and you will find us there. Josh in a hat, shocker, me balding still. And now, time to ask some questions. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Did you watch Raw, by the way?
I started watching it and then had to stop. I didn't get to finish it. But this
is on
good.
you now.
I
like
know.
If we talk about Raw today, okay.
I know.
Right, well, I tried to protect you yesterday.
You did. You did. I appreciate it.
Lambeau Field wakes up today, 11:05-ish. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur. Practice starts at about 11:55, and then we'll hear from the players, plus offensive line coach Luke Butkus and tight ends coach John Dunn both hit the podium this afternoon. Why are you telling us that? Well, it's because tomorrow, Rich Bisaccia hits the podium, and if Josh was in the room, he's got a question for two for old Coach Bisaccia.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to ask it because my question would be, why are you still here? and then I think I would be shown the door.
You would not be
him.
there
right
anymore.
And so my question is more for Packers fans, angry Packers fans, of can we shift our frustration and our poor, walking around with pitchfork, get him out of here from LaFleur to Bisaccia? And I have reasons for that. Gentleman named Dyer Carragher.
There you go. He's Irish. Right. Nailed it.
Irish. He put out this stat. He said, of all the information, I thought this was the craziest stat that I've seen thus far this season. He said 45 NFL players have returned 3 or more punts this season. In yards per attempt.
I was really hoping you were going to read this in an Irish accent.
Oh, that wasn't going to happen. 43rd on that list of 45, Romeo Doubs with 5.8. 44th, Matthew Golden, 4.7. And 45th, Keyshawn Nixon with 1. So I went, now, we've been talking a lot about the kickers and the kicker controversy and the problems at kicker. Okay, that's special teams. Yeah. Now, punt returners. Literally, we have 3 of them all in the bottom of the NFL in terms of yards gained for punt returners. Why does Rich Bisaccia have a job? Why is he in charge of this? You can't, I get if you're struggling at one thing, but you can't have multiple, right?
Matt came out and said that the whole operation on that second missed extra point was a mess, right? With the laces and
sure
this
did.
And the snap and the hold. Dude, the whole shebang is a hot mess at the moment. Why do we seem to have blinders on? We're focusing very much on player execution and not very much on setting players up for success. Now, one could easily argue that this past weekend of what do you want us to do? The ball hits you in the hands on offense, defense, and you can't make a kick. That's so at some point it's on the player.
Mm-hmm.
I've mentioned this a couple times on this show. There's an event here in Green Bay where I am at WNFL. Josh is in Milwaukee at 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM The Fan. We're on in Wausau on the game, 93.9, and in Duluth Superior, 7:10 the game. Good morning to all of you. There's an event here in Green Bay that is called the Green Bay Chamber of Commerce Welcome Back Luncheon.
Okay.
I've told stories of sitting at a table with Christian Watson when he was a rookie, asked him how he was doing learning the offense, and he said, which one? Matt's or Aaron's? And I was like, oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
The year after that, I believe it was the year after that, one of those next years, Keyshawn Nixon landed at our table. And this was before he came out and called himself CB1 and that he doesn't want to return kicks. And I had asked him, because this is preseason, I said, hey, this weekend, are you going to give a punt or kick return a goal? And he looked at me square in the eyeballs and said, for what? Like that, too.
Yeah.
For what? Like, what do you need to see?
Right.
Well, bud, in order to stay at the top of thy game, you need to practice thy game, because it appears from a kicking returning standpoint, whether it's punting or kicking, I don't know which one he's in there. But hey, remember, CB1s don't return punts or kicks.
Right.
Well, what about CB3s? Because you're not the CB1. You're not playing like the CB1. And you're clearly not returning like is kick return one, KR1, PR1? I don't know. That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's even more frustrating that we don't even know. Like I couldn't even tell you who's going to be back there, who I want back there, what the plan is. And that's on one side of special teams. And then you have this whole thing with the kickers on the other side. And I understand that we have gone through special teams coordinators in the past. We have had special teams issues that have just been knives in the heart of a Packers season. But I don't know what else it would possibly take to get rid of Rich Bisaccia. And anyone that was hoping that Matt LaFleur was going to be let go needs to look at the fact that Rich Bisaccia still has a job and go, I don't think so, bud. I don't think that Matt LaFleur is going anywhere. If they can't move on from Rich Bisaccia,
well,
the highest paid special teams coordinator.
But whose call is it to move on from Rich Bisaccia? Matt LaFleur. So just like Chris McIntosh appears to potentially be going down with the ship at UW in regards to Luke Fickell and the football program, so too might be true for Matt LaFleur, who, by the way, I know from sources in the past that Matt has struggled to move on from coaches that he brought in because he believes it makes him look bad. Well, that's why you get paid the big bucks, bud. You're the one that has to make these decisions. Josh, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line fired up today. 414-677-1250. This is a blast. Real quick, the 920. Rich is the highest paid special teams coach in the league. Run his ass out of here.
Yeah.
Well, good to know where you stand.
That could have been me texting that in.
Another one from the 920 says, do the Packers and LaFleur feel like when your wife gives you all of the ingredients for a made-from-scratch cake and you don't know how to put it together? It's like the Packers have all of the talent in the world and LaFleur just isn't sure on how it all goes together yet. Is that plausible?
I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily all the ingredients. I think it's the cake's not caking. He made the cake, but something's missing. He did something wrong. He didn't put enough of, something in when he was supposed to. And now I'm questioning his ability to be the baker.
Yeah. I don't even know if he owns an oven at this point.
Right.
And that's cute that you think my wife follows a recipe, by the way. Amanda has one method. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
it must be nice.
Could not remake what was Julie a rule follower?
No, I'm saying when I'm cooking, it's like I'm in a science lab.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta have exactly point. Okay,
that's exactly how I do it.
Yep.
And there's a reason why she cooks and I don't.
Yeah.
Jason in the 920. When did Nixon think he was so good that he talks as much trash on the field as he does? Seems like we didn't get rid of Jair after all. That's true. I mentioned this while you were out, Josh. He's just got a mouth on him. and you notice it every Sunday. If Jair or Keyshawn makes a good play, everybody in the stadium, for sure the guy he was guarding, everybody knows it. Is that what they call it? Guarding?
Yeah.
Defending? Yeah, I think
sure.
So. When he's terrible, he's nowhere to be found.
I don't,
And now
is that really that uncommon though across
probably not
all of
No,
the league and all of the quarterbacks positions? And
we're not really helping him with this stat though. 45th in the league out of 45 NFL players that have returned 3 or more punts this season. Like, it's easy for guys like you and I who talk about this on the radio every day and have no accountability in that very room over there. I can see the blinking lights, a little foggy in Green Bay today. But at some level, if we're all onto this, they've got to be onto this, right? Like, if there is anything that we are in lockstep in as Packer fans, our special teams blow.
yeah. You know what this reminded me of? Because now you got me thinking about Monday Night Raw. You ever been watching the Royal Rumble, which is my favorite pay-per-view, and you see a guy that should have been eliminated way on, like really early, and he's just like holding the bottom rope, crouched in the corner.
Yeah.
And all the other big guys are going. That's Rich Bisaccia right now. Like, I feel like the best thing going for Rich Bisaccia right now is that people are mad at Matt LaFleur. He's hiding in the shadows of the public eye and people being angry and questioning his job because everyone's focused on Matt LaFleur. And that's why I'm saying my question today was, why can't we just shift our gaze and our attention for a minute away from Matt LaFleur's play calling and game management and any concerns we have there and focus on Rich Bisaccia? I would love for someone to tell me one thing he's doing right now, besides hiding in the shadows and not being in the spotlight.
I want to know what you guys are on out there today on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. 414-677-1250. People woke up and like popped some caffeine pills or something.
Yeah, they're on it. I love it, baby. Let's go.
I would appreciate holding back on the cuss words because it makes it very difficult to read these live in the moment and not get fired. And
yeah, don't do
I'm
that.
not 414. Like, it's nice of the 414 to catch himself on an S word and an F word here, but then go down a couple on this list, Josh, and he did not do a good job down there. But this is an interesting take. The reason why McManus is hurt from the 9-2-0 is because he had to make 2 tackles in that Cowboys game because our kick coverage was so bad.
Yeah. Is he wrong?
No.
Okay. So he literally created problems for himself, this being Bisaccia, because of himself. It's a snowball effect. I will be the first to say I don't know everything. I don't understand everything. I'm sure there are things that are going on that he's doing right. I just don't know any of them.
Fair.
And so if he is doing something correct in his job, can someone please tell me what it is? Because right now I'm looking at his report card and I'm going, you're getting held back, bud. Failed. I don't know.
Are you telling him? I'm not telling him.
Well, sure.
He's got a scary cat.
That's fine. I'm in Milwaukee.
You wuss. That's awesome. All right, the most electrifying sound of the day is next, and it's electrifying for one reason and one reason only. It's because we got decent news about Giannis yesterday. Plus, I have a question. If Giannis means as much as he does to the Bucks, who's that one player on the Green Bay Packers that we can't live without right now? And I have a clue. I don't think it's Jordan Love. The most electrifying sound of the day is next. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back, Wisconsin, inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. Just said sports 8 times in 3 seconds. If you're lost, welcome. This is a sports talk radio station.
Oh, it is?
Yep. And every day at this time, we play something we call the most electrifying sound of the day.
Yeah, it went pretty well. I don't know what grade it is, but I know it's not a bad one, so that's good news for us. But yet and still, probably 2 weeks he'll be out, and we'll see. Hopefully less, but most likely in that area.
And that was the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. That being the Courtside Podcast, Doc Rivers, coach of your Milwaukee Bucks, giving an update on Giannis, saying it is 1 to 2 weeks for him that he will be out with that groin injury. And I honestly was so excited and relieved to hear that, Trevor. And I was surprised by Bucks fans that were going, oh, man, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The Bucks can't afford to go on a huge losing streak right now. What? This could have been so much worse. What is wrong with you people?
That's relative to my conversation / question here about, are the Bucks in dire straits for the next 1 to 2 weeks with Giannis having a low grade left groin strain? Is it really that bad? And the same token, I think about this from a Packers perspective. If when Giannis goes down with the Bucks, we all go, great. What am I going to do the next 2 weeks? We're going to lose every game. Do we do that? I'm not sure. I think we have a chance still. Ryan Rollins sure seems to want to pick up the ball that Giannis leaves behind. But then I look at the Packers and go, okay, if the Packers were in this situation, who is it that would make us feel this way? I put this out on Twitter yesterday, and our guy Brandon Snide was like, you can't compare. This is what he sounds like in my head when he talks like this. You can't compare the NBA and the NFL.
Wow,
Dude,
perfect impression.
you missed it, bud. I'm not. I'm asking, hypothetically speaking, is there a player on the NFL Green Bay Packers that would make us feel, if they were out, like, oh, crap, great, we're going to lose the next 2 games for sure because this player is out 1 to 2 weeks. What I also put was, I don't think it's Jordan Love, because Malik Willis, no matter how much Tommy doesn't want to talk about it, has proven last year and this year that position, at least on the short term, is a fillable / replaceable position. Is it Jordan Love? Absolutely not. I understand. And we don't necessarily take steps backwards when Malik Willis is in there. Props to Goody for signing him last minute last year. That was huge.
Yeah.
So, all right, I don't think it's Jordan Love. And I believe the answer to this is why, and here's what I put, and you're going to hate this. The answer to this is why the Green Bay Packers may just win the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
So in your mind, Josh, and in your mind, Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250, who is the player that if they were to go down on the Green Bay Packers, we go, great. Now we're going to lose to the Vikings. We're definitely going to lose to the Lions. Probably not going to beat the Bears. But remember, we're only without them 1 to 2 weeks. So is there a player on the Packers that makes us feel that way instantly? What do you say?
I mean, I say Jordan Love.
Okay, well, I said you can't.
Right. So
there's one rule.
Right. So taking him out of the equation, I would say Micah Parsons.
Why?
Because Micah Parsons forces teams to have to change everything, and it gives opportunities to Gary and everyone else. If that goes away, it allows the other team to scheme so much differently in what they're doing offensively, knowing that Micah Parsons isn't on the field.
Anybody else?
No.
Literally anybody else
That I'm thinking?
that you can think of between now and the end of the show at 9 o'clock. There's a good one that just came in on the Nicolay Law fan talking.
That's
Don't
who I
look.
would go with. I don't.
Okay, Micah
Yeah.
Parsons. I'll
Yeah.
give you that one. That's good. This person says Daniel Whelan. I think that is a huge opportunity
Okay.
that we're kind of overlooking every now and again, that he flips the football field
Sure.
every single time he touches the ball.
But it's not. But that's not the same. You want this comparison to be the same to Giannis being out.
Well, that's my point, right?
Daniel Whelan being out is not the equivalent to Giannis being out. I'm sorry, it's not.
Good. Is Micah Parsons?
And no, I think Jordan Love is, but I think that the next closest would be Micah Parsons.
So so you answered no, it's not Micah Parsons, and no, it's not Daniel Whelan, and no, I can't come up with any other name other than Jordan Love.
Yeah.
That's why I think the Packers have a chance to win the Super Bowl, no matter how they've been playing this year. There is not one specific player that would make us feel this way like Giannis does being out for the Bucks. There is not that player that goes, great, our pets' heads are falling off, it's over. It might be Jordan Love, but I would argue that Malik Willis has shown us that's a currently short-term replaceable position that we can use in our offense to our benefit. I actually talked to Mason Crosby about that very thing yesterday in regards to, will we ever use Malik Willis as a two-point conversion guy, or do we constantly just kick extra points and hope for the best? Here's what Mason Crosby had to say.
We are kicking it. We don't have it. We have to kick it. We are kicking this.
That's not what he said.
Yeah,
That's
I was
Pat
good. What? That's not him.
Essentially, though, what Mason said was, and this is per statistics, if you go for two, you'll make it 1 out of every 2 times. If you kick the extra point, you're supposed to make it 94% of the time. Now, he did go on to say, in strategic situations, we may very well be able to use Malik Willis on a 2-point conversion that would catch people off guard. And then he goes, well, what if we had Malik Willis and Jordan Love in there at the same time? And I'm like, well, now you're just being silly. And I really like that, actually. That might actually really work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
maybe we should put Haversick and McManus out there at the same time.
What if they both kicked in the same game?
Who's kicking? Put them both on the field. Who's going to kick it? We don't know. You don't know. No one knows. I'm still mad that Rich Bisaccia has a job. I'm sorry.
So, Rich, if you lose him, the Packers are screwed, the 9-2-0. Doubt it. I just don't think that's the case. I'm not sure there's that player, to be honest, but for the Brewers, it might very well be Brandon Woodruff. That's why they came out and offered him $22 million for 1 season, and that's why he accepted $22.025 million for the 2026 season. In case you missed that, we led the show with it, and at the top of the next hour, we're going to talk to the Brewers' voice on the radio, Lane Grindle, about what Woody means to this club. And that's part of this that I think we're missing. We know that when a guy like Tucker Kraft goes down for the Packers, we instantly lose leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. Don't have him in the locker room. Now Josh Jacobs is dealing with some sort of knee contusion. And both of those guys, if we had to whittle it down all the way back to training camp in July, those were the 2 dudes that stuck out the most as the quote-unquote leaders of the pack. I understand that's supposed to be the quarterback's position, and, you know, they're always the leader, but I don't know. One could pretty easily argue that Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs were bigger leaders on this team at this point than anybody else. So, too, is true for Brandon Woodruff and the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think people also just need to remember how long Woody's truly been there and how young everyone else is. This is, I mean, besides Christian Yelich, it's still a pretty young locker room. Remember that.
Yeah, very young. I mean, Woody was there back in 2018. It's the piece of audio that we used to open the show at 6. We're going to do it again at 7 and at 8. That home run off of Clayton Kershaw, one of the greatest moments of my sports life.
Yep.
Lane Grindle of the Milwaukee Brewers Radio Network joins us next on Inside Wisconsin Sports. We are live here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Good morning, Wisconsin. We're glad you're here.
about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa.
Flies one into right center field. Back at the wall. Are you kidding? Home run. Woodruff. 1-1 in game one.
Woody! Oh boy, am I glad to see you guys!
I knew you'd come back, Woody.
Not nearly as glad as we are to see you, Woody. Brandon Woodruff back with the Milwaukee Brewers on a 1-year, $22.025 million deal. He skips free agency, locked in with the Milwaukee Brewers for one more year at least. And we'll see how it goes. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Inside Wisconsin Sports is on your radio on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, and our guest now to chat all things Brewers in the what we call the morning mind dump lane. So if this gets a little off the rails, we just try to get all the things off our chest that we're trying not to hold on to for the day. Lane Grindle, Milwaukee Brewers Radio Network, and PA announcer extraordinaire, by the way. I think of that every time, Lane. I hear that audio clip. That day you were the PA announcer. I probably bring this up every time I talk to you.
I forget about that until you bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Morning mind up. That's perfect. Like great way to start your day, right? I've got 4 kids. I'm going to get out of the house here in about an hour, and we got some work on the furnace to do later today. I mean, all those great stuff. So it's good to get it all off our chest this morning. But what a great day for the Brewers yesterday. When they extended the qualifying offer to Brandon Woodruff, I felt like there was a shot he would take it. I really did. I think there's an argument to be made for Woody there that, like, look, you come back, it's going to be the healthiest you've been in 3 years. And if you put together a healthy season, you could really make yourself even more money down the road. And it's a lot of money guaranteed for that 1 year anyway of 22, little north of 22 million. So I thought it made sense for Brandon Woodruff to accept the offer. And I think the Brewers rotation got that much stronger yesterday.
Lane, can you help us understand better of what happens in between the time of the qualifying offer being offered and that deadline in which they have to accept said qualifying offer? Is it an opportunity for agents to be able to, like, can you truly maybe not get other offers, but test the market, see if there's something better out there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm probably not the right guy to ask because I'm not an agent and I'm not a former player. I'm not a front office executive. So I can't say that I know exactly how it will all, go down in those situations. And I'm guessing for every individual guy, it might be a little bit different. But I would think that when the qualifying offer is placed in front of you, you're now going to go try to get the best feel for the market you can. What is your market? What is your competition? What are your comps? What are teams that could be in on you? And remember, you have that compensation attached to you too. So it's just it's an interesting situation. It's it's not a franchise tag in football, but it has some of the same type of things associated with it. A little more player control on it, of course. But so I think the thing with Woody is this is a really strong starting pitching free agency class. And I think it's kind of the same thing with the whole Freddie Peralta, should the Brewers trade him or not, conversation that has been going on this offseason. There's a lot of arms that are going to move, and a lot of them in free agency and some in trades. We saw the Grayson Rodriguez trade last night between the Angels and the Orioles. So with that much out there, do you take the guaranteed money, be good with it, and bet on yourself for next year? I think that's what Brandon Woodruff did here. And he won't have a qualifying offer next year. You can't give him a QO next year. So that's another kind of bonus for him as he enters free agency next year. So I think it made a lot of sense for Brandon to do this.
Lane Grindle, the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, joins us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Sometimes, Lane, we overlook how important it is to have a locker room guy. And
Yeah.
from the outside looking in, Woody really is that locker room guy, regardless of whether we're going to be able to keep him after this year or not. And this kind of goes back a couple years when the Brewers were able to offer him that rehab contract. That's how important he is to this organization. Tell us
Yeah.
what you experienced.
Well, I think there's a million different ways I can start to tell you about Brandon Woodruff, the person not on the mound, and how much of an impact he's had for the Brewers organization. I mean, we could talk forever about it. We really could. He is a big part of the Brewers culture. He even, I would say, has a really positive impact on the position players, but certainly the pitchers. And there is a culture within that room of the pitchers, specifically the starting pitchers, of we do things a certain way at the Milwaukee Brewers. And he and Freddie Peralta are at the front of that conversation, and they set that example. I'm talking about the way you handle yourself, the way you go about your business in between starts. A lot of people think you pitch every fifth day and that's it. There's a lot of work these guys do in between these starts to get themselves ready and to be the best version of themselves every time they take the ball. And Brandon and Freddie are both really, really big in that department. I remember in 2021, so this is a while ago, the Brewers were getting a really good second half surge from Eric Lauer. He was pitching really out of his mind. Had become one of the better pitchers in the National League over about a 7 or 8 week stretch. And I remember asking Chris Hook, like, hey, what have you guys been able to unlock with Eric Lauer? And he just said, well, look, it's a lot of things, but one of the biggest things is he figured out that he needed to follow Freddie Peralta and Brandon Woodruff and Corbin Burns, and he needed to do things the way they're doing things, and that elevated him naturally. That's what these guys do. We think about development so often as the manager or maybe the roving guys in the minors or the minor league manager and this organizational system of how you develop guys. The fellow players, your teammates, your veterans are a huge part of the development process of younger players. And I think if you looked at some of the young arms that have come up over the years through the Brewers, specifically maybe the last 3 or 4, you would see their Brandon Woodruff's fingerprints are on these guys. He has had a lot to do with their development. Maybe not quite the same way Chris Hook has or some of the other parts of that pitching conglomerate the Brewers have, but Brandon Woodruff's been a part of that recipe too.
Lane, a lot of Brewers fans since the end of the season have been talking about what's going to happen next with Freddie. The news of Woodruff accepting the qualifying offer has reignited conversations about what does this mean for the Brewers and Freddie Peralta. As far as I know, you don't have a crystal ball, so I'm not going to ask you what they're going to do. But do you have anything that you can offer Brewers fans that are worried about this decision one way or another on what this team has behind them and options either way?
Yeah, so if you saw some of the stories that came out last night in the wake of the Woodruff news, that question was posed to Matt Arnold and Mark Attanasio via text by national writers, and both of them answered it essentially the same thing, same way. And they said, "Look, these are going to be separate situations. They are not the same situation. They are not connected to each other. We're going to make these decisions individually." So we have Brandon Woodruff. That is great news for our rotation. And right now, Freddie Peralta is a Brewer. And I think if you're the Brewers, and this is just me talking, but I think you have to look at it this way. Freddie Peralta was a workhorse last year. He took the ball every fifth day. He didn't miss a start. He finished fifth in the Cy Young voting. He had a 2.76 ERA. He had north of 200 strikeouts. He's available, which is such a big part of it. He's a true frontline starter now at $8 million. I mean, that is an unbelievable bargain. So if I'm the Brewers, I'm saying Freddie Peralta is going to be at the front of my rotation, and he is in my rotation until somebody else convinces me he shouldn't be. So somebody has to overwhelm me with such a deal that I'm like, look, we got to do this, right? Like that's what it has to take to get me to really seriously consider moving Freddie Peralta. That's how I would approach it. I would think that's similar to how the Brewers are going to approach this. They have Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, two great leaders, two frontline starters now at the front of the rotation. They got a bunch of young guys that are exciting too. You got Mizorowski, Logan Henderson, Chad Patrick, Quinn Priester. We kind of forget about Quinn Priester. This guy was one of the better pitchers in the National League last year as well. So they have a pretty good situation right now with the rotation.
And that mindset has changed, Lane, right? I mean, for years, Brewers fans were used to setting themselves up for, well, we got to get something for the guy. We're the small market team. There's no way that we would ever let a contract just run out because we have an opportunity to win and we don't want to get rid of the guy. We saw the Brewers do that with Willy Adames, and it's kind of shifted the mindset of Brewers fans of, hey, this team is competitive year in and year out. They don't have to trade the guy. They don't have to make that move anymore. They can keep him, look at the situation exactly as you laid out, and say they have an opportunity to go and win the damn thing right now.
Yeah, I look, and you said it. I don't have a crystal ball, so you don't know what other teams might come to the table with, and so it's hard to predict how this roster construction is going to go over the next couple of months. But if you're coming off a 78 win season, I think this is a totally different conversation. But you're coming off a 97 win season. You set a franchise record in wins. You had the best record in the National League. You got to the National League Championship Series. You have essentially this entire roster back, especially now that Woody's back. So I just think you are in the mindset of we're trying to win the World Series next year, and Freddie Peralta helps us do that. So unless you have something to offer me that is going to, in equal parts at least, give us that same chance, then we can't have this conversation. That's how I would look at it.
The voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, Lane Grindle on Inside Wisconsin Sports. We talk a lot about the old guy. That's Woody. How about some of the young guys, including Caleb Durbin, and up for NL Rookie of the Year? He's the next guest on the Inside Wisconsin podcast that comes out tomorrow. Lane, we sat and just shot the bull for like 35 minutes. Caleb Durbin's a good dude. So how important are the young guys on this team as well?
Well, I think that's what the Brewers have done such a great job of over the last 9, maybe even 10 years, really. This will be my 11th season, and they've played winning baseball for 9 of my previous 10 years, essentially. Playoff baseball, playoff quality baseball. And I think what they've done such a great job of is getting the right kind of guy in the organization. And so when you have a young guy like Caleb Durbin, it doesn't take him very long to understand the culture, to understand the expectations. And pretty soon, instead of playing like a second-year player next year, your hope is that he's playing like a fourth or fifth year player. I think we've seen that from Sal Frelick. I think we've seen that from Bryce Terang. Bryce has been especially fun because we've seen this leap each year where he's made these big strides, and now he's turning into a star in this league. And you hope that some of these other guys can follow in a similar fashion. But I think that's the culture of the Brewers at work. They get the right guy in the first place, and then they elevate these guys. And the Brewers are really, really good at the mental game, in my opinion, because I think they play more consistently than about any other team in baseball because they show up every single day and they are accountable to their teammates. And it's a little old school like that, but I think it's a lot of fun. It certainly is fun to cover.
Lane, obviously, you just pointed out that a lot of this team, almost all of this team, is coming back this year, hopefully having another shot to make it to a World Series. But also people are very excited with some of the things that are happening in the minor league system of the Brewers. Should we be paying attention to that? Are we expecting any of those guys that we've been watching for a year or two now to see any call-ups come the 2026 season?
Yeah, that's a good question. For people that are excited about like a Jesus Made, I don't think next year's the year probably. But we'll see. Some of these guys get going, and then it's like, well, what good are they doing us in Double A at this point? But I wouldn't think that next year's the year for that. Maybe a Cooper Pratt from a position player standpoint can knock on the door next year if he can get out of the gate strong in 2026. Obviously, Jefferson Caro is an interesting name, I think, to watch as well, and see how that arm comes back another year removed from the surgery. He certainly swung the bat well last year in AAA, and then was up with the team, kind of on the taxi squad at the end of last season. And I know Pat Murphy really likes Caro. He thinks he's a really special kid. So I think there are some names that are on the way. I mean, we saw him last year, but I think Logan Henderson's going to have a big say in the 2026 Brewers as well. But I think some of those really young, high ceiling guys like a Made or a Pena we're maybe another year away before we see them, I think. I learned a long time ago, nothing is ever certain in this game. So I hate to, I wouldn't have thought that Jackson Churio opened the 2024 season on the opening day roster about 9 months prior to that either. So you just never know how these things will shake out. Guys sometimes set their own clock with their play. And so we'll see what happens.
One more for you, Lane, before we let you get to the taxi squad. That is you taking kids to school. I keep
no
track
truer
of,
words.
I keep track of who I reach out to about Brewer stuff. Like, all right, if I reached out to Lane this time, it's going to be Jeff this time, or Jeff this time. So I reached out to Jeff and I was like, hey, want to come on and chat? Because he was up.
Yeah.
He said, I'm leaving for 10 days. And I got to see the kids, blah, blah, blah. And he loves to come on, but when he's got travels and stuff. And I said, awesome. Are you leaving with Lane Grindle by chance? Because I'm texting him next. And he said, no, but that made me think, what do you do in the off season? We hear Jeff doing basketball and football, and I've heard you doing some of the similar stuff. What does the off season prior to spring training look like for Lane Grindle?
Yeah. So last year was a pretty hectic off season for me. Unfortunately, it was. One of my best friends in the world and a guy that was essentially a mentor to me was the voice of Nebraska, Greg Sharp. And he had pancreatic cancer. So I basically went from baseball season to football season last year and was his backup in the booth all season last year and ended up filling in for him as unfortunately his health deteriorated a little further at the end of the season and calling their last few games. And then I did some television football too. And I usually do a little bit of basketball here and there as well. When my friend passed last year and I had a busy fall and it was really a blessing, even though it was a sad, tragic situation to get to spend that extra time with him. I made a decision that either I was going to do the football for Nebraska as a side thing because I would have never left the Brewers, or I was not going to do anything at all anymore in my off seasons. I wanted to be more present for my kids. They're just getting at ages where, my oldest daughter's going to be off to college in another year. She's 17. I've got a 15-year-old. I've got an 11-year-old. My son is 10, and he's starting to get into every single, sport that he possibly can. And so we're constantly busy with that. And so, the opportunities that were presenting themselves to me weren't, in my opinion, the opportunities that I wanted to sacrifice that for. Right. I wasn't doing the BTN one game like Jeff is. That's a little different situation. So for me, it just became easy then that I was going to spend my time in the off season getting ready for the next Brewer season and being with my kids. So it's been a great decision. I'll be honest with you. So a long answer to the question. I'm a dad in the off season, and I make appearances at events for the Brewers when they need me to, but I'm really enjoying it, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of things around the house that are getting done that haven't been done in a while. So that's good.
There you go.
Did you do that wall behind you? Because that's sick. I don't know what.
I hired that out.
Yeah. Oh, come on. See, and now you call him out on it.
I was jealous. I kind of.
Yeah, that was an addition last year. I'm very pleased with it. Thank you for the compliment.
No problem. Lane Grindle, the voice of the Brewers and dad in the offseason. I really appreciate that, Lane. All right, man. As always, thanks for joining us. We'll chat with you soon.
It is always my pleasure. Thank you so much, guys.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Pretty big deal during the Brewers season, and an even bigger deal in the offseason. Dad, Lane Grindle. I love that. Yep. What great insight, Josh, too, on all things Woody and leadership, and even some of the young guys. It was an awesome question about Jesus Made and Luis Pena, Cooper Pratt. Logan Henderson, by the way, 5th on the Brewers prospect list. Mm-hmm. He made the bigs. I wonder if he'll be there next year. He's right, man. We got some pretty good arms in the system.
And that's it all tied back. And the reason why I asked that question is because if people are saying, well, yeah, we're not going to keep Freddie, we got to get something for Freddie. What are you looking to get? What does this team need right now? Where are we, having these holes that we need filled that we're going to trade away a starting pitcher for? Interesting responses.
My favorite, Josh, is frustrated, upset,
Yeah.
fired up Josh.
And I hate that.
Boy, do we not, though. Because the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, my personal text, and frankly, just me in general, when Josh gets fired up, I love life a little bit more. Would You Rather Wednesday is next on Inside Wisconsin Sports. I've got a couple questions for Josh. I know he's got some for me, and I know all of you out there across Wisconsin have some for us. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Get your questions in. A little Would You Rather up next on Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. On Wednesdays, we play a little game called Would You Rather? Sports, sporting life, Wisconsin life. I pose Josh a question or two or five. Josh does the same for me. They're already coming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line. Get them in. If you guys have questions for us, we want your answers to our questions as well in regards to what would you rather. Hey, buddy, you go first. You were here for Would You Rather last week.
That's true.
You go.
Okay, that's good because I have one here that was more prominent, not this week when it got even colder, but more of a fall Would You Rather. Would you rather wear a sweatshirt and shorts or a T-shirt and pants?
Oh, sweatshirt and shorts.
Okay, I'm totally the same.
That is me the majority of the winter, especially with weekend family gatherings. So we had a birthday party this past weekend, and although the majority of it was outside because it was gorgeous, if it was inside, I'm shorts all day long. Everybody loves a little, sweatpant and hoodie action. That's what my wife wears around the house. If I am sweatshirt and shorts.
I'm totally with you. If one of them's got to be free, it's the legs, not the arms. Cover the arms.
Josh, chicken wings. Would you rather sauce or dry rub?
Sauce. Saucy.
Oh, I'm dry rub.
No. What?
Dude, go to Buffalo Wild Wings. They have this insane dry rub. There's a spot up here called The Bar. They have locations in Wausau, Green Bay, Appleton. It's called The Bar.
Yeah, I've been to The Bar.
There's one right down by Lambeau.
Yep.
They have a dry rub that's bourbon maple. Bro.
Yeah. Now imagine bourbon maple, but as sauce. And the wings just dripping in it.
Yeah, but so much dripping better. Down your face and down your hands.
Yeah,
wings
are
and
messy,
on your shirt.
Man.
They don't have to be. There's this new thing called dry rub. That's what I was asking. All right.
No, that's wrong. Post-sporting event. Okay. Post-sporting event. Would you rather reset up the tailgate and continue the tailgate or go to a bar?
Ooh. All right. So I'm using Lambeau Field as this example. There's a difference between resetting up the tailgate and stopping by the tailgate to have a couple beers and wait out the traffic.
And that's not what I said.
I know. Oh, God. Here's the problem. My buddy Brett and I did both one year and got ourselves into a wee bit of trouble. I would say it depends on the band, but I'll pick the bar, especially for a Packers game in Green Bay. If it's a new, the time matters, Josh. If it's a noon game, I'm probably headed to the bar. Not after I have to get up at 4 a.m., but let's just say I'm off on Monday. I'm heading to the bar. The Stadium View and Doozies, the bar, they all do music typically after a noon game. That's a blast. However, there's something to be said about stopping back to the tailgate after a win, but resetting up, no, it's the bar.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
It is the bar. I'm glad you got there. It took you a minute, but that's the answer is the bar. People, so I understand people that are like super into resetting up the tailgate. That's your thing. But then just admit that that's your thing. I don't want to do more work after the game. I set it up beforehand. I'm excited. It's the pre-game. After the game, I'm either happy or I'm sad. If I'm sad, I'm just going home. If I'm happy and I want to keep celebrating, I'm going to go somewhere where everyone else is doing the work, and I'm going to keep celebrating.
Valid. Dude, look at the tailgate though that you and I did for the Brewers game.
Right. Epic.
I wasn't resetting up that whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. So even if you reset up the tailgate, I feel like you're going into it knowing it's going to be half as good as it was pre-sporting event.
And I'm also getting kicked out of the parking lot because if I'm resetting up the tailgate, I'm the last one out of there. That's 100% chance happening. All right, my turn. Yep. Would you rather, if you could only watch one sport for the rest of your life?
No, boy.
This is it. You have to only watch this sport. To your knowledge, there's no other sport on the planet. Soccer or lacrosse.
Oh, God. I thought I was at least going to get to choose the sport.
You should know better than that. Soccer or lacrosse. This is an easy answer for me.
Lacrosse. And I don't think I've ever even watched lacrosse. But soccer is the definition of show me the highlights.
Congrats. There's a goal. Any other questions?
I mean, that's it. But I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you how often scoring happens in lacrosse. I don't know lacrosse at all.
Our niece from another mother plays girls high school lacrosse.
Yeah.
You haven't watched lacrosse until you watch one of those games. That's fun, man. I love watching lacrosse.
There's a reason I haven't watched it before. So, but it was a would you rather question, and the answer is lacrosse.
The answer is not soccer.
That's fair. Would you rather have an autographed sports item or a picture of you and the player that would have signed said item?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this is really taking over, right? I mean, when I was a kid, it was all about the autograph. Maybe because we weren't all carrying cameras in our pocket.
Yeah.
Today, it's the picture, and I would take that, and here's a great example. I took Riker to NXT in Green Bay on Friday night for his birthday.
Yep.
We were front row, and who's there? Sheamus comes out and does a match on a non-televised, non-taped live event NXT. And I think I'm starting to understand why, because that's a way for them to practice for when it's actually taped. I mean, This is a match that they repeat 2, 3, sometimes 4 days in a row. Riker noticed that people were taking selfies with these WWE superstars as they were kind of leaving the ring, and has more pictures from that night alone and not a single signature, and he is on cloud 9. Now, as an adult, I think I would probably rather have the signature to put up in my basement man cave and tell the story, because I don't want to do the, hey, dude, you want to take a selfie type of thing as an adult. But I know that there's a lot of people that would rather have the picture. For me, the signature.
Yeah, I used to be that way. Now I'm definitely the picture. And even though it's just in my phone, right? I could print it out, I guess, and do something with it, but I only have so much wall space, and then I'm trying to decide, well, do I want this framed signed jersey up or do I want this framed signed jersey up? They take up a lot of wall space. You can't hang up 20 signed jerseys and, your phone can hold 1 billion photos.
I'll pause my list and go to the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line for a moment. 414-677-1250. We've got a lot of would you rather questions coming our way. So here's a good one for both of you and I.
Okay.
Us. Would you rather win an argument with your wife or win a bet against the Minnesota Vikings fan?
Simplest would you rather question ever.
Totally.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would rather win a bet against the Minnesota Vikings.
That's because there is no winning an argument against your wife.
Even if you win, you lose.
Bingo.
There is no just plain winning. And if you're telling me that that's what it is, I'd still pick winning the bet, because my brain can't comprehend what winning a bet or winning an argument against my wife truly would be.
Josh, you know what? Fine. Did you win? I have no friggin' idea.
Yeah, I have no clue. Right now you said that, and my brain's like, I don't, what is that bad?
Am I in trouble?
What's going on? What happened?
Yeah, I would say win a bet against the Vikings fan, 100%. Let's do that this week.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, here we go. It's colder outside now. You live in Wisconsin, and your car is acting up, but it could be summer, and it could be winter. So what would you rather? No heat in your car in the wintertime or no air conditioning in the summertime?
Oh, boy. I'm going to say no AC. Or, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to say no heat. I want the AC. I understand when it's cold. It goes back to the same thing. I can put on 7 coats. I can really bundle up. But when it's hot, especially in a car in summer, I can roll down the windows. People go, you roll down the windows and, you get the breeze coming. Yeah, nothing like hot air in your face. It does not make it better. Give me that AC.
Yeah, I currently don't have heat in my Jeep. So my answer is heat.
Yeah.
The Jeep goes into the shop on Friday.
That's bias. That's just recency bias, though.
All right, you go.
This one's pretty simple. Would you rather keep Brandon Woodruff or Freddie Peralta? You only get one. And keep in mind, this question being posed does not have any implication of how long they're here, what the salaries are. They're both the same. You have both of them for $5. Which one are you keeping on the Brewers? Mhm.
Freddie, because he's younger. That's it, though.
Freddie,
I think
'cause he's
Woody's a
younger.
better pitcher.
Okay.
But we'd have Freddie for longer. That's strategery.
You're thinking that just simply because of the fact that he's spending his whole career as a Brewer? Is that what you're thinking? I'm saying, because I'm asking this is both of these guys now we have for 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year contracts. So I'm saying, as everyone's wondering, what does this do for Freddie? They said they're going to, technically, they could trade Woody mid-season. Like, it's just a 1 year contract. He has a 1 year contract, the same as Freddie has 1 year left on his contract. If you could only choose one to stay on this team, which would it be for the remainder of this year? 1 year.
Fastball Freddie.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think there's a right answer to that question.
It's a tough one.
Let's each go one more, and then we have so many. This segment's taking off. My God, look at all of you on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. I don't know how we're going to get to all these. 414-677-1250. Keep them coming. Josh, would you rather have an MVP quarterback and a horrid defense, or an MVP caliber defense with a rotating door at quarterback?
Can you give me more on rotating door? I mean, like, is it because of injury, or are you saying it's just because, like,
no? Have you seen
one of the teams that
Tim
they just
Couch
suck?
jersey?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
But boy, do they have the greatest defense in the history of defenses. Hypothetically,
I mean, the greatest defense.
I wrote down an MVP defense, meaning like an elite defense, but you have a DS quarterback, or you have an MVP quarterback but a DS defense.
Man, I think if you truly have an MVP defense, a decade best caliber defense, that's better than a quarterback. I know that that's the number one position, and that's the most important position for one person on the field. But if you have a defense that's constantly putting you in position, defenses can score pick sixes, fumble recoveries. They exist. You can put them in position to have your kicker kick field goals, regardless of how crappy your quarterback is. If your defense is garbage, we've seen that. We've lived that. We've had Aaron Rodgers and seen games been lost 45-40. So
I see your defense, and I raise you Brett Hundley.
Right. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go defense.
All right.
I think I'm gonna go defense
Okay.
on that. Let's go to the talking text line. You're right. I took a look at this. Not only are there questions, but there are some responses to ours that I'm already getting feisty about. 262 said, "Come on, Josh, you're a Milwaukee tool man. Get that heated jacket." Of course, I have the heated jacket.
Ooh,
I also have the heated jacket. I have the heated sweatshirt. Get the sweatshirt. Get the zip up first.
You have a Milwaukee tool hat.
Yes.
Of course you do.
Yeah. But if you're going to get a heated jacket or sweatshirt, get the sweatshirt and make sure it's a little snug so that heat is compressed on you. The jacket kind of lets some of the heat out.
Josh, get rid of one forever. Mainly kids saying 6'7", or kids calling people bruh.
Oh, boy.
Which one do you get rid of?
Kids calling adults bruh really makes me upset. So I guess I'm going to go that one.
When my boys started calling me bro, we had a real quick talk.
Yeah. I don't care if they call each other that, but you don't call me that. No.
Or the dude. No.
No,
it's dad. It's dad.
I know.
Not dude.
I know.
Dad.
I know dudes.
Yeah.
To you, I'm not dude. Yeah. Let me see here.
Somebody said, "Give me the heat in winter. Can't defrost the windows without it." And then they come on to say, if you don't have heat, then how do you keep ice off your windshield? Well, not well is how. I was outside this morning at 4:30 scraping my windshield and doing everything I could to make sure that was clear by the time I got to work. There's a reason it's going into the shop on Friday. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
One more.
How about this one from the 715? Luke in Wausau. Would you rather watch the Bears win a Super Bowl or the Lions win a Super Bowl?
No brainer for me.
Lions.
Lions all day.
Yeah.
Almost because you feel bad.
Well, also, I think there are likable pieces.
They are
on the Lions.
Yep.
I can't think of one with the Bears. I go, well, at least I like that guy. Like I can't think of that.
All right, we're gonna get to all of these when we get back. A Would You Rather Wednesday. You guys are killing it.
Yeah,
killing it. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Get them in. We'll answer those and maybe a few more for each other when we get back inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Packers beat reporter Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press-Gazette explains how he'd use tight end Luke Musgrave versus how the Packers are using him now. This morning at 10 on 9 to noon with Kuhn on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Make sure to follow Josh and I on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW, at On Air Josh, at Inside Wis Sports for the show, and the network itself at WI Sports Radio. Back to the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250.
Yeah, before we get to some of the other would you rather questions, some answers to ours. So in the last segment, I had asked you, one of mine was, would you rather have the autographed item or a photo with the person that would have been signing the item? And I talked about space. There's limited space to hang those autographed items on the wall. 262 said, rotating artwork, football jerseys up in football season, baseball during baseball season. I know that sounds simple, but that like blew my mind. Do people do that? Do people like Christmas decorations change out the stuff in their man cave for the seasons? I've never seen it. I've never done it. If I put something up in the man cave, it's
Forever.
up until I go, it's been nice having you. Give it away and replace it with something else for the next 10 years. I've never went, it's opening day, let me put the baseball stuff up and take the football stuff down.
Seasonal man cave decorations.
Never. Is that?
I have no idea.
That's
I've
like
never heard
next
of that either.
level.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's kind of brilliant though. No?
I mean, yeah, but that's a lot of work. I don't decorate well to begin with.
Okay.
And I have said on the record, as I'm building my new studio in my basement, that if I have something on the wall, it has a story along with it.
Right.
I love telling stories. I don't go to these places and look for this memorabilia and go, oh man, look what I got. No, I want a story. I want something along with it that says, on a cold November Sunday at Lambeau Field. All right. Would you rather? I've got one more for you, buddy.
Okay.
As we hit the top of the hour here and get to our guy, Doug Gottlieb, just after 8 o'clock. Very simple. Came up in conversation in my house last night. Would you rather cookies and cream or mint chocolate chip?
Cookies and cream.
Yeah, that's what we had last night.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah. I mean, some people, if you're a mint person, that's the only reason why you'd go that way.
Here's a wintertime one.
Okay.
This is going to get people fired up. Would you rather have a municipality put down brine in the wintertime for the roads or the sand salt mix?
I mean, I guess the sand salt mix. I don't know. Am I against?
Do you guys not have brine down there?
I don't.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I don't know what they. I think it's just all salt mix. That's what I get. That's what I see them flinging out there.
There's something called a brine where they literally spray it on the road.
Right. I'm saying I don't know that I've seen that around here. It's all salt trucks.
We definitely have it up here. The brine that goes on the road, it puts down, like you can see it. It sticks on the road. The reason they're asking this question is because that brine lives on the road all year. Whereas if you only treat the roads when you need to with salt and sand, it's far less wear and tear on your vehicle.
Which is probably why I don't see brine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Do you have one more for me?
I'm going to go salt and sand. Yeah. The other one that I had, it's funny, was also cooking related. And it was just, would you rather go microwave or, I'm sorry, not microwave. Microwave or air fryer?
See, the air fryer is a lot of work. Like that, you got to go get it, bring it out, set it up, choose your temperature. How long is it going to take? Whereas you just nuke the damn thing and you're done with it.
Yeah, that is incorrect. That is the air fryer is not. It's not. You don't have to preheat it. You're reheating something. You just take it, plug it in.
You ever put pizza in an air fryer?
Yeah, and
really,
it's leftover pizza way better in an air fryer. Than a microwave?
Tell me the temperature setting and time right now. How long?
I'm not even looking at that. I don't 350. I think.
What do you mean you're not looking at that? You have to set the damn temperature, don't you?
I literally hit on, down from like 390 to 350, which I do for everything. And then I hit start and it counts down from 20. And then I can stop it, look, go, I can go a little bit more. Hit start again.
Oh.
Take it out. It's super easy. And then I'm not eating soggy food. I'm all about the air fryer, baby.
Literally today days old. I've never once heard of anybody reheating food in an air fryer.
Do you have an air fryer?
Yeah. Just never reheat food in it. We make things in the air fryer from time to time.
Oh, brother.
When I say we, I mean Amanda.
It'll change your life. The way that depending on what the food is, of course, but yeah, any meat, anything that you need crisped up, yeah, use that air fryer, man.
We always ask Doug Gottlieb one of these would you rather questions. Josh, which one should we throw at him? Noting that he's in full-fledged travel mode this morning and probably going to be a little annoyed at life. Let's zing him. What do we got? I bet you the 6-7 thing.
You think that? You think?
I think.
He has to deal with that?
Oh, let's ask him.
Okay.
Let's ask Doug Gottlieb if at the collegiate basketball level that he has to deal with the 6-7 thing or the bruh thing. And which would he rather get rid of?
Oh man. I opened this up. The air fryer crew is coming for you.
Yeah, I guess. Jesus.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Good.
Wow. Like with pitchforks and knives. Jeepers creepers, people. I'll try it. Relax. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Fired up all morning. And then somebody says, who puts away the air fryer? We don't got room for that. All right. Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. UWGB men's basketball head coach Doug Gottlieb is next. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Flies one into right center field. Back at the wall. Are you kidding? Home run. Woodruff. 1-1 in game one.
Woody! Oh, boy, am I glad to see you guys!
I knew you'd come back, Woody.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Hi.
Hi. Doug Gottlieb is about to join us from the bus, still in GB. Apparently, they had a little bit of a delay with the flight this morning. Yeah.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. This is a great time to ask him what's more annoying, bruh or 6'7".
Yeah.
Because he's surrounded by it on the bus right now.
Being stuck on a bus or being stuck on a plane?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good would you rather question. All right, so he's jumping on in just a few. Good morning, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, live on your radio, 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee, 99.7 FM, WNFL in Green Bay and the Fox Cities, 93.9 The Game in Wausau, and 710 The Game in Duluth Superior. All right, live from the bus. What's up, DG? Doug Gottlieb on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. What's going on, man?
Well, so we're playing the U.S. Virgin Islands on today is Wednesday, right?
Today's Wednesday, yep.
Yeah.
It really is. Happy Wednesday, Trev.
Happy Wednesday.
Listen, I'm going to take the full blame for this one. I'm the one who picked this tournament. What's up?
Can you tell people 15?
He knows which 15. All right, so
Get the 15 here.
here's the deal. Oh, no. So to get to the Virgin Islands, apparently is the most difficult thing ever from Green Bay, Wisconsin, right? Because you can't drive to Chicago, go nonstop. And I love Green Bay's airport. I do, because it's so easy. You get there 20 minutes before you fly, you're good to go. It's almost like private, right? But you can fly to Minneapolis, Detroit, Denver, Chicago. So none of those fly to the Virgin Islands, right? You got to do two stoppers. So I'm an anti-two stopper, hardcore. So we're going to Appleton. Again, makes no sense. Everybody in the Fox Valley, you got a great airport. We got a great airport. Why don't we make just one great big airport? Just a thought. Who knew? So in Appleton, you can fly to Dallas, also flies to Virgin Islands, fly to Atlanta, to the Virgin Islands, Charlotte, Virgin Islands, right? So we got to go to Appleton, which is a bit of a schlep. Last night, about 9:30, the bus was supposed to leave at 3 a.m. At 9:30, my director of basketball ops, Preble and Marquette alum, Caden the captain, texted me, I got bad news and bad news. So what's the bad news? Well, our first flight was delayed 4 hours, so we're probably going to miss the second flight. So we're going to be stuck in Atlanta unless Delta holds the plane. And so about 45 minutes ago, we found out Delta's not holding any plane for us. So we're on the bus to Appleton. At some point, we'll take off. At some point, we'll land in Atlanta. After that, Trevor, I got no idea. I do know that, well, like literally we're counting guys right now who's essential. Because right now I have 15 seats on the Delta flight tomorrow, not today, tomorrow to the Virgin Islands. If we wait 2 days, everybody can go, but we'll miss the game against Yale. So 15 people. This is a great radio topic. How many coaches do you bring? How many players do you bring? I have to have a trainer. I have to have Cam, my trainer. I probably have to have do I have to have Dr. Kratz, our team doctor, although she may already be on I think she's going to be on the flight earlier today. She's the only smart one. Anyway, Trevor, who do I vote off this island?
Somebody's getting voted off. This is full-fledged Survivor right now. I'm not sure. Okay. You know what? Make them choose each other. What could go wrong?
First thought.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Do we want to
First
go?
thought,
Do we want to
Doug,
go roast it? Huh?
Who can be replaced by an iPad? Who can you FaceTime?
AI.
Who can you have as on
Ooh.
FaceTime and just set up an iPad on their chair at the game and go,
Well, I
okay,
think-
you're
I
an
think most
iPad,
people-
you're an iPad, you're an iPad.
I think there's lots of people that think I'm probably the most replaceable of anybody. Right? let's just
Where's
get
Doug?
the
He voted himself off the island.
Doug's right here. He's an iPad.
That guy knows he's doing. Oh, he's probably doing his podcast instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, God. Doug Gottlieb joins us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. The things that we go through in the Horizon League, coming from GRB or ATW or wherever you guys are on your way to. That's nuts.
Hey,
all right, well, before we...
Sneaky good airport in Wisconsin is the one in Wausau. That one's nice. Central Wisconsin, sneaky good. Sneaky good.
That's the only airport that I haven't flown out of. GRB got it. ATW, MKE, Madison, just not Wausau. All right, hey, so since you're on the bus and we appear to be on speakerphone, this might be good for the guys.
Yes,
on Wednesdays, we play, it's all right, we play Would You Rather. And a question came in, I'm like, ooh, this is good for DG. Doug, if you had to get rid of one but keep the other, would you rather get rid of or keep 6'7" or bruh? I know, they're both annoying.
I would say bruh because there's no actual meaning to 6'7".
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not calling anyone 6'7". You're calling someone bruh.
Well, I have like 6 guys that are 6'7" too. But
go wrong.
and it is a great like break in the middle of a game. Like all of a sudden you get to 6 to 7 and like all the kids go crazy. And then you're up there coaching a game. You're like, what is 6'7"? Okay.
Got it. Well, you did just have one of those days where you play the day game and all the kids show up. So that must have been great. But you also added insane game against Minnesota, man. That was a, hey, we belong game. Tell us what that meant for your program.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a moral victory guy. Nobody is. But I just think, we didn't play well against St. Thomas 2 nights before, and we had a really, really tough injury early on in the first half, which I think, put our team in a really tough place. But Trevor, as you saw every home game last year. We got beat up by more physical teams and beat up on the boards. And just the other part would be we would have a lead in the first half, early second half. There'd be a run, and we wouldn't shut it down, but there would be a deflating feeling. The difference was we still got beat on the boards, but it was like 11-7 offensive boards. So we were right there. I thought we matched, and maybe even exceeded their level of physicality. And we punched back. We had the lead at half. They went on a run. We retook the lead. They went on a run. We retook the lead. They went on a run. We tied it. They threw in a half-court shot that didn't count it. And then it was, it was like, was that Rocky 2? Or Rocky 3, right? Rocky 2, where they're just so tired at the end of the fight. Maybe Rocky 1. And that was what the overtime was like. And they threw in a couple more than we did. We mixed defenses, but again, you have to be more process oriented. Do we want the results? Yes, but you can see we're getting better defensively. We're figuring out a rotation. We're getting Preston Rudiger to shoot the ball because we need, an implied threat. Some of our guys that are new, Justin Allen is a D3 transfer, finally starting to come around. So we're getting there, and I thought that was what was big about it.
Doug, I wanted to ask you a question about something that's just been frustrating me a lot as a Packers fan, living in Green Bay and being aware of what's going on, obviously, with the Green Bay Packers. A lot of hatred towards Matt LaFleur over the last couple of weeks and people wanting his head. Meanwhile, I'm over here wondering how Rich Bisaccia still has a job as the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. We were reading off stats earlier today. 45 players in the NFL have had at least 3 punt return opportunities. The bottom 3 in yards after catch were all Packers. And that's on top of the kicking fiasco that the Packers are going through. What needs to happen in Green Bay for someone to be fired and replaced? I feel like it's the most secure job
this is
right
what's
now.
interesting. This is what's interesting, right? When you become a coach, there's no like memo you get to have like, hey, you got to take care of all coaches, but you do have an added sensitivity and understanding. Let's start with LaFleur, right? The big uproar of LaFleur is, why didn't you throw the ball against the Eagles, right? Why were you so conservative against the Eagles? Did you guys watch the Lions-Eagles game?
Yeah.
Did you see Jared Goff try and throw the ball?
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Didn't work too well.
Whoop, might have just lost him just for a hot second.
It worked terribly. Terribly.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Couldn't block him. And again, my memory may be bad, but didn't the Packers lose their starting left tackle and Tucker Kraft, right, for the Eagles game? And so if you don't have anybody to protect the blind side, or you trust the blind side of your quarterback, then you might want to be a little bit more conservative. For Bisaccia, he's like the most beloved special teams coordinator in the league. I get that you feel like somebody has to lose their job over the kicking thing. I don't know how that's the special teams guy, right? Now the problem was, if you're not blocking, which there was some blocking issues, ultimately it falls on that guy. But if it's just kicking, right? And you have a replacement kicker who's a substitute teacher, and then all of a sudden you have McManus, and do we put him back? I mean, the kicking thing, I don't know how you blame the special teams guy unless they didn't get lined up properly. I really, really don't. But I don't know what firing somebody mid-season does. Let's just be honest. It does nothing except throw you in complete chaos. Complete chaos.
It's
Because
also
you're still
waving
gonna
the
do
white flag.
No, I don't think it's waving the white flag. I think it's saying we're really pissed. We want it fixed. But again, you need to think logically. You're not changing anything at this point in time of the year. You're changing nothing other than personnel. You're not going to become somebody different. You're just not. So you can fire a special teams coordinator, but you're not practicing it enough to really change anything. It's all what you do in the preseason and what you do during short periods of time in the regular season. Like, we're halfway through, dude. What you got is what you got. So I hear you. Like, I sat there. I've watched all these games, but reality is changing out midseason just creates chaos. And I don't think that's what the Packers need.
And live on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, Josh, the last text we got. Exactly. Do you hear that, Josh?
No, don't give me dumb logic over my emotion. I want a change, and I want something to change. I don't want to go into the season going, well, this is how it's going to be for 17 games. Hope it works. If it sucks and something's not working, I want to change.
You can make subtle changes, but I'm just, it's like, again, I'll only use college basketball because I'm on the bus with my team as the example, right? Like, what you think you have in the preseason, and then all of a sudden you play, you're like, oh, that doesn't work, or that guy's not good. Like, we can have one thing at a time, one little at a time, clean up all the other stuff, tweak a couple things, but you just can't change. And I can tell you that the changing the coaches sounds like a great idea, okay? But it's really, especially now, it's a disaster. Now, my staff changed mid-off season, which even that was hard because you have to recruit to an identity. You have to play to an identity. You have to know your players really, really well to know their strengths and their weaknesses, what they do well. And when that identity changes because the coaches and the coach's approach changes, now all of a sudden you have players that are like, wait, the other guy brought me here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Again, just creates chaos. And the reality is you can't change much of anything. Any of these coaches that are fired and then the interim guys taking over, they're running the same offense and the same plays. They just might have a little bit more urgency and they may take a couple more chances because tomorrow is not promised for them. They don't have a multi-year contract as head coach. So again, I'm not saying that you don't have every right to be disappointed in where the Pack are. But as I said, other places, and it's real, it's like Okay, if you don't like it, Packard, what about the Chiefs? What about the Bills? Right? Bills look great one week, look crummy another week. Like that apparently is the NFL. But with individual little things that are bothering you, you're fine. But firing somebody, a coach, at this point in time, doesn't. It actually creates more problems than it fixes.
Doug Gottlieb on Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, head coach of UWGB men's basketball, and also the host of the Doug Gottlieb Show every afternoon from 2 to 4 on Fox Sports Radio. DG is on the way to the airport. We're going to get one more audio to talk about this Paradise Jam thing, and then we'll let you run. You got a flight or 2 or 3 to catch? I don't even know where you're going. Tell us what these, I'll call it a preseason tournament, even though it's not really preseason, but it's almost like a season opener tournament. What do these things do other than be a pain in your ass with all these travels? What does it do for you and your team?
Well, first thing is it's 28 degrees here in Green Bay, America. I told, you'll love this one, Trev. So last night we had dinner. We had a recruit in town, and we had dinner with 2 of the girlfriends of 2 of my players, and they came with us to dinner.
Where'd you
go? We went to Hagermeister.
Prime court.
And they're both volleyball players. And I was like, hey, good luck in Cincinnati. They're like, yeah, we wish we were going to the Virgin Islands. And I was like, what are you talking about? The temperature's 48, 58, 48, 58. They're like, really? I was like, no, I'm dyslexic. It's 84, 85.
That's karma. That's karma, Doug. You did that. And then Delta said, we ain't holding your plane. We'll have fun in 84, 85, 84. You have fun in Atlanta.
Come on, give a guy. My kids accuse me of dad jokes all the time. Give me a little credit for a good joke. What's it do? Well, the first thing is an MTE. When they go away after this year, they don't go away, but you get an extra game, right? So normally you can schedule 31 games. You play an MTE, you get an extra game. For us, this is a level of team that they're all above our level. So the only way we would play them is in guarantee games. Like we can't get Yale to come to Green Bay. Yale's top 100 team, picked to win the Ivy League, very, very good. So it gives you a chance at 3 high-level opponents. 3 games in 4 days means most everybody's going to. To me, this is figure your team out. Figure your team out. Some teams, and I credit the Badgers, right? The Badgers, they know who they are. They recruit to who they are. This is how they're going to play. But Greg's been there for a decade, or he's been there for more than that, but as head coach. For us, it's figure your team out. And then, you get a chance to be around these guys in an island setting. You get a chance to take them places they've never been. We like to take donors on these trips too, Trev. You can raise extra money that way. And then there's some visibility to your program. Hey, we go and do these things. Some teams don't. Some teams play these made-up MTEs just so they can acquire more wins. We want to put our team out there. We're challenging our team with a schedule that's ridiculously hard, with the idea in mind that when we come back to the Horizon League, we'll have a sense of what top-level competition is. So these teams, we think, replicate the top teams in the Horizon League. If we can compete, we can beat anybody in our league.
Man, wouldn't that be something? I would like to see that. Let's beat anybody in our league. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, buddy, safe travels. Thanks for jumping on, even on the bus. Good luck with all this 6-7 stuff. It's so annoying. I'm so over it. Get there safe. What day are you supposed to get there? I mean, I know you said you're going to have
we're
to
supposed to get there today. Supposed to get there today. We're likely to get there tomorrow, and then we play on Friday. But we got to figure out who's essential personnel and who's not essential personnel. There's going to be somebody's going to get a note today. They're not essential personnel, and their feelings are going to be hurt.
Why is the roster? Oh, well, yeah, long story. Anyway. All right, buddy. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you soon.
See you guys. Happy Wednesday.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Can I just say that the cell phone coverage between Green Bay and Appleton absolutely sucks.
I was honestly satisfied knowing that he was on a bus traveling through the state of Wisconsin with the quality of that call.
My family and I literally make that drive every day from Green Bay to Appleton and back at least once a day, sometimes more, because our oldest son goes to high school in Appleton and we live in Deep here, Green Bay area, right? For some reason, 5G, LTE, there's something in the middle there around Wrightstown and Jay and Kukana. None of this means anything to you. It just sucks. I'm glad we fought through that. I love talking to Doug every Wednesday, 8 a.m. A little bit of GB, a little bit of life, a little bit of sports, and apparently a little bit of men left behind. That's a fascinating
I'm
position
sorry
to
I
be
had
in.
to ask him, but it's a real thing. Who can do their job via iPad?
Yeah, that's right. And I love the self-deprecation. If I put this out to the people,
they're going to turn and point right back at
Doug
me.
Gottlieb's not going on the game.
Yep, that's right.
That's great. All right, so last night, not a huge sports night here in Wisconsin, and this show dedicates itself to talking about and to Wisconsin sports and Wisconsin sports people. And so it got Josh thinking, on a night when there's not a whole lot of sports, or maybe let's just say there's no sports in general, what do you do? What are you watching? And so we put together a little list, and maybe you'll share yours with us too on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stay here. Sports Talk on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Josh, you were bored, and you have an idea of like, all right, well, let's just kick sports to the curb.
Here's the thing. So, I have a lot of things that creep their way up into the old noggin. And when the news came out of Giannis being injured, my first thought was, oh no, long-term, scared, not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was 1 to 2 weeks. And I went, okay. And then I remembered I had convinced you, who didn't watch a lot of NBA, you're going to watch Giannis. Well, now Giannis is out for 2 weeks. And so it was like, all right,
enjoy your NBA.
So Trevor's got a 2-week vacation from the NBA. And then that took me a step further of, well, if he's not watching the NBA, let's take it a step further and say he can't watch sports. Because I've been there, especially during football season, when the Packers would lose in the NFC Championship and there was a week until the Super Bowl, and all they showed on SportsCenter were highlights of the Packers getting, making mistakes and getting beaten by whatever team was going to make it. I didn't want to watch that. And so it was a week off of sports. And that posed this question. When there's no sports, when you have to take a break from sports, what do you watch? What do you go to in the house? What is on your TV?
Well, we become bingers real quick. We binge the things. If sports isn't an option like it was during COVID, we binged and binge and binge. And then you blink and it's 2:30 in the morning and you have to work the next day. You're like, what are we doing with our life?
Yep.
So I sent you 3 things that we would typically binge. One of them has to do with sports, so I think it qualifies. But let's see if you can guess these. So play number 1, Josh. Do you know this show? Because if you don't, you need to.
Oh, is this Oh, it's so funny I didn't watch. Is this
Come on. Don't disappoint me. Let's go.
I can't the HBO.
No.
Oh.
Paramount Plus, maybe.
Oh, then maybe I don't. What is this?
Yellowstone?
Okay. No, I never got into Yellowstone.
Oh, dude. You're so missing out.
Never did it.
I hope for sake something happens and you have to take a break from sports because you will absolutely love this.
Yeah. Okay.
Love Yellowstone. So good.
Okay.
All right. So that's what we binged. I mean, that would be the first thing that we go to. Here is the second thing. Let's see if you know this. You recognize that?
No. What did you just get, like a bunch of
Yeah, just the intro music for the things that I binge. Did you ever watch Making a Murderer on Netflix?
No.
Buddy, I don't know how much we have in common. I thought we were fairly
no.
yin to the yang.
This
No,
is why we need sports. No, I didn't. No,
this is why we need sports.
I didn't watch Making a Murder. This sounds like a fun night, though. What a fun night.
Oh, it's more than a night.
Hey, you hear this and don't you go, hey, we're having fun now.
Oh, dude, I get sucked into these
I'm
things.
sure.
This one was here in Northeast Wisconsin. It was the whole piece that happened in the Mishicot area. I don't know. I get sucked into that stuff. All right, Yellowstone, Making a Murderer. Those are the 2 things I go to. Now, if you don't know this one, I will punch you through this camera.
I hope I don't. I'd like to see that. All right.
I will punch you. Not only will I punch you if you don't know it, but if you haven't watched this.
First of all, there's no backstabbing going on here. This will be Phil's last year as the coach of the
Is this? Wait, was this the?
Where do we go from here?
Only question, how long can it last?
Josh. Tell me you've seen The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Or I will,
Okay. But it's been.
I know
5 years.
But
so you go back and watch The Last Dance?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying, if there was no sports and I was forced to start binging some stuff over again, I've seen all 3 of those. I've watched every episode that Yellowstone has to offer. I've watched Making a Murderer, the sequel, and the one that Candace Owens did multiple times. And I absolutely would watch The Last Dance today if I had the time. Absolutely. Because that whole era of Jordan was my childhood. It was beautiful.
That's fair.
Well, I'm sure we're going to have some great things in common with your mashup. This will be perfect.
We sure won't. Listen, I actually loved your answer to this because those were fun things that are interesting and things that adults get to do. If I found myself in the house not being able to say, nope, get out of the room, dad needs to watch sports, it's for his job. If I didn't have that option, on one TV would be this.
Hi. Hello.
Is that Peppa Pig?
Can you say mama? Mama. Mama. Good job.
That's Miss Rachel. It's Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel would be on one TV. If you don't know who Miss Rachel is, it's because you haven't had a baby in the last 3 or 4 years. And then I would go, okay, well, I'm not doing that. And then I would go in the other room, and my 9-year-old would be in that room.
Dude, what is this?
Oh, come on.
Is this Power Rangers?
It's Pokemon. They literally say it 3 times in the song. It's Pokemon. Okay, 9-year-old super into that. I'm not going to lie, if it's an old episode from when I was a kid, I might sit down and watch that with him.
What is Julie watching?
And then it's like, okay, all right, get the kids' stuff out. Maybe now the kids are asleep. All right, and now it's okay, adult time, adult TV. Julie, what do you have on?
You know exactly what happened.
I don't actually know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You for bringing that up.
Is that the easy way, or do you want to talk it out?
I want to talk it out if you're going to be fair. I'm not going to talk it out if
I'm
you're like,
happy to talk
what
about it.
happened in Palm
Is that the
Springs.
Bachelorette?
Erica's not mad at me about this. She understood that it was a
No,
misunderstanding.
that was a Real Housewives
Yeah, okay.
of something or other, which is all I hear is blah, 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 blah. It's literally gives me a headache. So then I'm turning out of the room and I'm going, okay, all the TVs are filled with things that I don't want to watch because of the house I live in. And then I'm probably just going to my phone and I'm going to end up watching
Avengers.
Assemble.
Now, if you think I'm going to know which one this is, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't.
Which one is that?
It's from Endgame. It's like the highest grossing movie ever. It's fine.
Never heard of it.
I don't know why you would know that. So I'll end up like either watching, some nerding out in some way, shape, or form, or the true answer is I would end up then just scrolling. And I'm just scrolling on TikTok and looking at short videos because and we've talked about this on the air. I have a condition. I'm calling it it is a non-diagnosed, legitimate condition.
What is it?
To where if I start a show or a movie, I must finish it. I watched a clip on TikTok of The Blacklist. You remember The Blacklist? Probably not. It was an NBC show. It was a 45-second clip, and that got me to go, oh, that was kind of interesting. And I watched the first episode of the show. Didn't even love it. But now that I watched it, I had to watch the entire series. And like as I was doing my life, I had to just get through it. So I'm very careful and cautious about when I choose things and choose to start things because I will finish them, which is why sports is great. Sports, a game starts, a game ends. It's done. It's one night. You go, you're done. Not the same with everything else.
I was wondering how many people on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line were going to start shouting out the things that they watch on TikTok. 414-677-1250. There's some that we need to read here. However, I'm curious, has anybody seen, or Josh, have you seen Nate the Hoof Guy?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Oh my God. Google, look that up on TikTok or Reels or whatever. Nate the Hoof Guy. This is embarrassing. I could sit and watch this dude trim cow hooves for hours a day. I quite frankly probably do. It's so much so that I reached out to Nate the Hoof Guy because I thought he was in Wisconsin. Dude's in Wisconsin.
Oh, look at that.
Coming soon to an Inside Wisconsin podcast near you. We're going to chat with Nate the Hoof Guy if I can get it figured out. And if I'm the only cat watching Nate the Hoof Guy videos on the regular, I brought this up at the radio station here the other day. And one of the guys, Hayes, he was like, No way. You talked to Nate the Hoof guy? I'm like, all right, that makes me feel better. At least I'm aware that other people are watching this. My wife looks at me with just daggers, and I'm sitting there watching cow hoof. I don't have time to do anything else in life, but by golly, do I have time to watch cow hoof trimming videos?
You make time for that.
So dumb.
I want to point out this text, and you brought this up earlier. People fired up today on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. 920 says, Josh, you're a man. You watch what you want to watch, not what your kids want to watch. Yeah, it's a give and take. I make the decisions, 920. And the decision is, do I want to let my kid watch Pokemon, or do I want my kid to go, hey, dad, hey, dad, hey, dad, hey, dad, hey, dad, hey, dad,
Also
hey, dad,
valid.
hey, dad. No, go ahead, kiddo. You go throw on Pokemon. Dad's going to be over here for a minute watching whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll watch on a smaller screen to be able to have 10 minutes of peace and quiet to myself. Thank you.
No, you're not. I just watched Nate the Hoof guy the other day from the 414. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. A lot of people are excited to see Fear Factor coming back. Did you see that?
No.
It's the guy from, I don't know if I can say the name of the show, Jack A. Remember that show?
Yeah. What, Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah, he's the host.
Oh, nice.
Could that not be a more perfect host if they're going to bring back something like Fear Factor?
Yeah,
Last question for you on this. What is if you were on Fear Factor and the question was, it's Josh's worst nightmare and you have to see it through, what is it? What are they making you do on Fear Factor that would make you absolutely just puke?
Probably watch videos of Giannis getting injured.
Okay.
Not
spiders, not snakes, not heights,
I mean,
not fire.
I don't like any of those, but man,
worst nightmare.
That's my worst nightmare.
Luckily for you, luckily for us and our job, sports is a real thing, especially here in Wisconsin. When we come back, we'll get to some of these from you on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Plus, what's up, Wisconsin? I think we're back to regularly scheduled sports programming today. We'll let you know what's going on. And you let us know, too. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Trevor and Josh want to know.
What's up?
What's up, Wisconsin?
What's up?
What's your plan for the day?
What's up?
What are you doing tonight?
What's up?
Let us know what's up on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
What's up, Wisconsin? What do you want to let us know we should be paying attention to today? What's up in your life? The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. We chatted last segment about what do we do when there's no sports? Like, what do we binge? What do we watch? And we both instantaneously got proof that our wives listen to this show and or watch this show.
Yeah.
Julie.
Yep.
Julie, from where's she from? What can we say? Julie from a car.
Do I know who this is? I don't know.
Julie that said I do. How about that? Julie that said I do.
Okay.
Changed her name to Albrecht.
Oh, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Julie says, don't act like you don't also get into the drama of Real Housewives sometimes, Josh.
Listen, okay. It's the condition I have I explained of needing to watch what's on the television. I hate it. It's annoying, but it's the truth. There was one time before Julie got into Real Housewives, I have no problem admitting this, where she was watching Gossip Girl. Okay, she was rewatching, binging Gossip Girl. I'm doing work on my laptop as it's on, and she's binging a few episodes. And then she turns it off after an episode, and I went, "What are you doing?" And she went, "What? I'm done watching it." And I went, "Well, I need to find out what they do now. You can't just leave me on that." And she goes, "You're watching Gossip Girl?" I said, "I didn't want to, but it was on, and now I have to." I ended up watching the entire series of Gossip Girl because I needed to see it to the end. It's a condition, man. It's a condition.
You were just outed. It was awesome.
Thank you, Julie.
Yep. Thanks, Julie.
Love
Appreciate you chiming in. All right, from a Wisconsin sports perspective, what do we got going on? Bucks off tonight. They play the 76ers tomorrow. Matt LaFleur chats today. We should get an update on Josh Jacobs, hopefully, although the answer may very well be he was limited.
Mm-hmm.
He was limited.
Yep.
He's got that knee contusion, a left knee contusion. You ever had a knee contusion, Josh?
No, sure haven't.
Not good. You've never banged the inside of your knee on like a table or something like that? No?
Yeah.
That's it hurts, right?
Yeah, I become like the Peter Griffin.
When I stub my toe, you ever stub your, maybe this is not a short guy problem with all due respect, but when I stub my toe and I know it's going to hurt, it takes a second to get up to my brain. I'm like, ooh, that's going to hurt in about a second. Does that happen to you?
Yeah. It's your pain receptors have to travel further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool tall guy brag. Yes. It's also, yes, I understand. I can, I'm 6 foot. It's not like I'm 4'11" walking around.
It's also valid. Yeah, you're taller than the average bear, I believe.
Yeah, good correction there.
Thank you. Marquette men's basketball tonight at the Fiserv against Dayton. That tip it appears to be between 6:30 and 7:30, according to the research I did. It said, double check your local listings. We're not sure what time it starts. It must be 7:30.
Okay. I just
go at 6:30, actually.
So my buddy Brian just texted me. He's listening, and he goes, "Listen, I'm going to give you that one. I mean, Lauren Graham is hot." Lauren Graham is from Gilmore Girls, not Gossip Girl, which I've also watched the entire series of because Julie had it on in the background, and I have a problem. I don't mind putting it out there. I'm not ashamed. I want to give a big shout out on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line to our friend Josie, who said, "Morning, gents. What's up? I'll tell you what's up. All my hard work is worth it and paying off. I got promoted."
Nice.
Atta girl.
Congrats, Josie.
Proud of you. Good for you.
B. Hintage in West Allis on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. What's up, Wisconsin? 414-677-1250. He's getting in from the last segment of us. What do we watch when we're not watching sports? He says that he cut the cord years ago. So no ESPN, no cable. He pays for YouTube Premium, so you don't have to watch commercials.
Sure.
And apparently started watching something called Two-Stroke Outboard Motor Repair. See, that's just like those hoof trimming videos, man. You get sucked into that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good boat motor he's working on right now. I got to sit down for this one. This one's going to...
Wonder if he...
I love that. I love when people find niche videos like that, too. That's epic.
Schwartz Center says you're not alone. He has the same condition you do.
I'm
Meaning
glad
it could
to
be
know.
the dumbest movie ever. See, I don't have that problem because I pass out.
It is a condition. We should start a support group. People don't realize how difficult it is to have that type of brain. Hey, so for What's Up Wisconsin, I got a little bit of a dilemma tonight.
Oh?
Well, so because of the extended vacation weekend I had, a lot of the people that from the Roosevelts, the Shirt Nerd group that I'm a part of, were there with me at Warp Tour. And we had to push the podcast that we usually do on Tuesday nights back to Wednesday tonight. However, I bowl tonight. It's a bowling night, and they do overlap. Obviously, bowling a lot longer than the half-hour podcast, but it's also, as you know, someone that does podcasts, very difficult to line up 5 people's availability of doing a podcast when it's not, just one other person. Can't really rearrange everything. So, and the fact that we were talking about, we're going to be talking about Warped Tour. We're going to be talking about this big thing that happened. So now I've got to let those guys down easy and saying I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. I was thinking, is there a way that I could do the podcast from the bowling alley? But bowling alleys are pretty loud. I'm not positive I'd be able to get that done.
DG did it from the bus today.
You know what? You're not wrong. He sure did. And how awesome was that? By the way, just hearing, I don't know how he's going to do this. Getting down to 15 people.
Yep, said from the bus that he might have to literally cut players from traveling to the U.S. Virgin Islands to play in this tournament because the flight may not have enough seats for everybody. And he said this live on statewide radio from the bus with the players that he might have to leave. How does that work? Hey, guys, great news. Nah, not so great news. Good news or bad news? Which one do you want first? Amanda always chooses the bad news. Bad news, you're not going. Good news. Enjoy Atlanta for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm down here.
Have fun.
All right. A fantastic show. We're thankful to Doug Gottlieb for joining us today on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. All of you for joining us there. That's the best part of this show, when you guys chime in and listen. If you love us, tell us. If you hate us, don't.
Yeah.
That's that simple.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kindness wins. This show is different every single day, but 100% dedicated to the people, the stories, and the patriotism of America's Dairyland. We try to chat with people that you recognize, that want to celebrate the things that you celebrate, like Woody getting signed today, or choosing to sign yesterday, or whatever the case. Lane Grindle jumped on at 7 and told us that, yes, Woody can pitch, and it's great that we'll have him back for another year, another ace on the roster. And, oh, yeah, guys, he's way, way, way more important off the field and in the locker room to the up-and-coming Brewers, just as much, if you will, as he is on the mound. And can we just celebrate that for a day, Josh? Can we just take it in that we just spent $22 million on a pitcher, please?
That's a fair point. I think we should take advantage, love it. It's not every day you get to celebrate that. And there was definitely a time, Brewers fans, where that was not happening in Milwaukee. Period.
Period. So don't worry about who else we're going to sign. Don't worry about who we're not going to sign. Don't worry about trying to go and buy players off of World Series teams, because that's not happening. But much like this last season, how about we just celebrate the fact that the checkbook just opened and wrote a check for $10 million to buy him out, and then $22.025 million to keep him around. That's a lot of money, especially for a team that doesn't necessarily spend that much money.
True.
What was it last year? Was it 126 million or
something right around there? Yeah.
Think about that. Let's just hypothetically say it's $122 million. Last I checked, that's about 10% ish.
Yep.
Of the overall total budget. I'm bad at math. I have no idea if that's right. I'm Trevor. He's Josh. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports, and we are statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. See you tomorrow.
Because we are not done yet.